Shalom, shalom.
It's not happening.
YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, QADASH. Double honors to the elders and apostles of MILLSTONE to teach them well. Peace and salutations be to the full elect. I'm Brother Tazam Gabar, coming to you from the Prophets in Babylon camp here in Tampa, Florida. Alright. And this is going to be going into this recent post where it says the Kentucky House Chamber got raided by 500 trans protesters saying that trans kids are under attack because of Senate Bill 150 and junk science. Alright, so let's go and look up Senate Bill 150. And I'll put the video in the intro, man, but it looks like a fucking movie. It looks like a movie, man. Alright. Looks like all that was staged. It looked like they're all actors. Which they are. You know, they do these things. You know, Babylon has people that, main speakers that go and try to hype up the crowd. It's like their own little personal fanners. They send to fan these riots. Or fan these protests. They're really undercover agents, you know, working for the government, you know, to further an agenda. Which that woman that was screaming, trans kids are under attack, what do? We have to fight back, you know, somewhere along those lines. She seemed to be like she was, you know, doing that professionally, you know, like she was being paid to do that. But it looked like a fucking movie, man. We're living in a movie, you know. What is the SB 150 bill? It says Frankfort. The Republican-dominated Kentucky General Assembly acted swiftly Wednesday to override Democratic Gov. Andy Beshear's veto of the controversial Senate Bill 150, which bans gender-affirming care for trans youth. The override began Wednesday in the Senate, the Chamber of Origin, with a 29-8 vote. All right, so this is basically trying to stop genital mutilation of children, you know. Basically, if a male child wants to go and get his genitals removed so that he can have a woman's, or similar to a woman's genitalia, you know, which she will never have. It's just surgery to make, cosmetic surgery to make it look like that, so that these dumb and confused people, oh man, these mentally disoriented and confused people can truly believe that they're a woman, can think all the more that they're a woman, never changing the fact that they were born the gender that they were born. You know, you are what you were born as, and if you're born a man, you're a man. No matter what you do to your body, you're still a man. But these people have gotten so confused and destroyed that they take it that far, you know. And of course, you got these damn government undercovers in these riots and these crowds inciting these things, because this is the agenda that they're pushing. Even a lot of the crowd member, when you get one person chanting something and you get a lot of the crowd members following or behind that one person, a lot of those crowd members be government agents, you know. And it's all to get the multitude to follow after, and then it becomes a whole big facade where, or a big ass protest, a big ass riot with a huge group of people because of the fanners that was sent in to fan those riots. You know, Babylon is literally orchestrating everything that happens within this country. But things are about to really get out of its control. Babylon's really about to use a grip on humanity. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 12. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. So people are going to be having class wars, race wars, societal wars, you know, because they may want society to be this way and the other group may want society to be this way. You know, there's going to be many oppositions. So there's going to be many oppositions that are about to come into play, you know, and you're about to see it come into play, you know, on a full scale. There's going to be many wars for different reasons, for many different reasons. not just race, but societal wars, wars for food, class wars, Democratic Republican wars, all these types of different opposition groups that oppose each other are going to come out and start really clashing against each other. You got these damn moes, the damn alphabet community, these guys are you see that they're starting to protest. You've seen a couple pictures come out where you got these so-called transformers holding up signs saying stuff like saying stuff like back off or else, and they be having all these rifles in their hands and shit, like they're getting ready to actually go to war, like they're actually getting ready to incite violence, but this book of 2 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 11, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. So we know that this raiding of the house, Kentucky house, whatever, was just it's a play, man, and it looks like a play. They're not very good actors, but these are the people that we got, in ruling seats for us, They're fighting for a vain thing, but when you look at this lady's face, when she's inciting these things, when she's yelling out these things, look at her face and look how she looks at the crowd for approval, When she sees she getting that approval, she can keep moving forward with it. This shit is a movie, man. Look at the way they speak. These Edomites aren't very good. You watch them closely, you can catch them in their you can catch them in their plot, man. This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, or Sirach, chapter 12 and verse 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Don't trust your enemy, man. Just like as the iron goes to rust, so does his wickedness. Eventually, he gonna show you that, he not the guy you had once put your trust and faith in. He gonna show you why you shouldn't trust him. But if you're hanging around him, what does the scripture say? Who shall pity a charmer who's been bitten by a serpent, or any as such go near a wild beast? You're near a wild beast. You're near a serpent. Eventually you're gonna end up getting bit or attacked. And nobody gonna pity you, because you know full well yourself not to go near an Edomite or be around an Edomite. It's common courtesy. It's a common knowledge amongst Israel that the motherfucking Edomites are crazy, man. At any moment, you see the Jake making little meme videos about it. They be making little funny videos about how they be at their Edomite friend house, and the Edomite pull a gun out of his bag and starts killing his parents, this and that, or Edomite, pull a gun out of his bag in the midst of a school, whatever it may be. These ain't all just, they ain't doing this for no reason. These are, these things are funny. These videos are funny because there's truth behind it. Edomites really get down like that. Let me grab this real quick. Hold on it. Alright, so it says, though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hadst wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust hath not been altogether wiped away. So it's like, if you got glasses on, it's like wiping your glasses and then looking into them again. You're trying to see something, but you can't tell because your glasses are a little foggy. So you wipe them, put them back on, and you can tell, oh yeah, there is some rust, there is some wickedness within this man. Set him not by thee, lest when he hath overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. So don't be around this guy. Don't be near this guy, man. Don't set him by thee. You see these damn Edomites doing these protests and riots and shit, or if you have an Edomite friend that believes in shit like that, get away from that motherfucker, man. If you're an Edomite, get away from him, period. All right? Nothing good could come forth of those people. If something does if something good does come from them, it's because the Lord had willed it to. But it wasn't of their intention. The scripture says, if he doeth good, he doeth it unwillingly. It says, when he hath overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. I remember having to eat my friend in the world when I was but a child. I had to eat my friend, and he did good for me sometimes, But whenever he did, and just for attention, whenever he had the chance for attention in front of a lot of people, what he would do is he would bring forth all the things that he did for me that was good, and then he would belittle me as if I was poor, or if I didn't have enough to do it on my own, But those are the things that Edomite did, man. And at a point in time, I really thought the guy was my friend, but he wasn't my friend, because situation and circumstance proved that. So I ended up getting bitten by the serpent, and I wasn't like, damn, that's fucked up. It was just like, when I came into the truth, I realized, okay, that's what that was. I wasn't supposed to be around these people in the first place. It's not something wrong with me or something that I'm, doing wrong. It's just that these people they're a different type of people. It says, neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat. And thou remember at the last my words, and be pricked therewith. All right, so don't let these words depart from your mind. You have to remember and never forget. Habakkuk 2:4. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him. Okay, so remember that Esau's soul which is lifted up, which is prideful and haughty, is not upright in him. He's not a normal person. He wasn't created the same as everybody else. He was created to be the children of wickedness. Esau, Edom, he was a whole different nation. That's why he has that mark, that skin color, because it proves you that he's an unnatural man. When he goes out into the sun, nature attacks him because he's unnatural. A part of nature is lice. Lice get inside of the hair and the fur of beasts. Okay, but these Edomites somehow get it because they are unnatural. Okay, they're an unnatural man. But you don't see Jake getting lice and shit like that because they're natural people. But these damn heathens, these damn Edomites, they go out, they get lice, they get sunburnt, their skin gets moist, so they start to sweat from the weather, the heat. They begin to smell like wet dog. Okay, so these aren't natural people. It says, behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him. It says, but the just shall live by his faith. Ooh, but the just gonna live by his faith. Esau doesn't live by faith. Esau lives by his sword and his deception. All right? You don't live by faith, man. All right? But the righteous is going to be living by faith. We're going to stick close to the Lord and hope that the Lord protects us from all things, man. All right? But you got these damn wicked-ass protests, wicked-ass riots trying to push a certain agenda, for the world. So that we can be more and more vexed. You're starting to see more and more of these creatures walk around amongst the world of the living. Amongst your everyday normal lives, you're starting to see a stain in the earth. We're starting to see it more and more, and that's because iniquity is increasing. Well, like one of those, it used to be like one of those mystery books where you had to find something. It was turn a page and it'd be like, the theme of the page would be like toys or whatever, and you would have to find certain toys within the whole picture of toys. That's the same thing in this world. It's like it used to be flamers. You barely see them. Every now and then you may come across one, but not as much. But now it's starting to be the only thing that's on the paper. It's starting to be the only thing you see. If somebody's not a flamer, then they support that flamer shit, which makes them a flamer as well, or a flamboyant. Majority of the women roll that way. Majority of the women, go for both sides. You got more women doing that than you have men doing that, because the women, they were easily susceptible to these things. They were easily submissive to such an agenda. But the men were harder to get. That's why Esau had AIDS. He had support with his chemtrails, which is barium and aluminum, which is sprayed on the people, and The chemical abbreviations for that is Ba for barium and Al for aluminum. You put those together, you get Baal. You know, so this is the work of Satan, the work of the devil. You know, this is where there's this is what Esau Edom is pushing forth. You know, so he had that, and then he had the fluoride in the water, he had the GMOs, and all these things, all these chemicals he's putting within you is making the minds of these men more and more susceptible to Babylon's ways and its image. It's making their minds become more and more submissive and more dominable, you know, like more like a woman's mind. So then these women come forth with these words, and it ain't helping that these women are attacking the men as well. Oh, you're a misogynist, or you hate women, you're prejudiced against women, and you're this and that, and you have no compassion, and you don't care for equal rights. And, you know, this is the world today that we live in. So the world is not natural anymore. It's to a point now where it has to be cleansed of its wickedness. It has iniquity and wickedness in excess, meaning too much. All right. Imagine, you know, putting your clothes in the dryer, and you got that filter in the dryer, and every time it starts to get dusty, you have to change it. All right. Else, if you don't change it, the dust gets more and more in excess and before you know it, the dust begins to spill out into the dryer, into your clothes. You know, it begins to spill out into your clothes, and the clothes don't get dry properly. You know, because your filter got excessively filthy, and that's how Babylon is. It's getting excessively filthy, and it's starting to pour out into the other nations, and now it's spreading to the entire world, and the whole world is just, man, balling out, man. You know, but I think I'll finish off with that, man. Let's see. I'll close out with this. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 18, verse 5. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and YAHAWASHI hath remembered her iniquities. So Babylon's sins have reached to heaven, and the Lord has remembered her iniquities. And not just the iniquities she's done in this captivity, but all the previous captivities, the things Babylon has done before, you know, all the things that they've done against the Israelites, all the things they've done against the Lord, YAHAWASHI. Now it's time for them to pay for it. So the Lord is going to make it to where they get so powerful, yet they're going to lose control over the grip of humanity, their control over the people, and the people are going to turn and rend their ass. It says, reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works. And the cup which she hath filled, fill to her double. So Babylon's about to suffer double for what she hath done. And Babylon's done many wicked things. Esau Edom has done many wicked things in the world, man. Yet they still have to pay for it. Not only equally, but double the fact that they've dealt to the Israelites, man. You know. But I truly hope this lesson was edifying to you. I cannot worth listening to the sincerity. It's next to Mashallah. I want to give all glory, honor, praises unto Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, QADASH. Shalom.